Hello everyone, I'm Kuya the Ghost, and I'm just a normal guy who loves video games. That said, let's get started with the topic of today's video. There's a franchise sitting on the sidelines that publishers seem terrified to touch. It's a game with hilarious and memorable characters, has fast-paced hack-and-slash combat with costume-shredding ninja arts, and most importantly, has a loyal fanbase just begging to spend more money on their favorite ninja girls. And despite all that, it's practically been left to die. If you haven't already guessed by the video's thumbnail, I'm talking about Senran Kagura. A genuinely fun action series that's being completely wasted. Senran Kagura is a sleeping gold mine. Let me explain. First off, let's address the reputation problem. Whenever someone brings up Senran Kagura, the conversation immediately goes in one direction. Oh, that's the anime boob game, right? And sure, the series has never shied away from what it is. That's the same as reducing Bayonetta or Nier Automata to simply being more boob games. It's ignoring everything else that makes the games truly beloved by their fans. As simple as it is, the combat has always been surprisingly fluid. The roster is packed with hilarious and lovable characters. Each one just feels so distinct. The games have charm, tons of humor, personality, and genuinely heartfelt moments mixed in with all the ridiculousness. Not to mention all the adorable Yuri pairings going on. There's far more substance than some people are willing to give it credit for, and I assume that most of those people haven't actually played the games at all. Let's talk about why it worked. The original games knew exactly what they wanted to be. Fast-paced arena combat, colorful environments, dozens of playable characters, special attacks flying everywhere and ripping clothing to shreds. It wasn't trying to be the deepest action game ever made. It was trying to be a sexy, comical, and most importantly, fun game. And that's exactly why it succeeded. That's why people still talk about it years later, wondering if, when, or where the next main series entry is going to show up. Not because it's simply gooner bait, because it's actually fun. Next, we must face the massive piece of shit stinking up the room, Sony. Unfortunately, the franchise ran into the worst possible timing. Around the late 2010s, fan service heavy games became increasingly controversial. Platform policies tightened, especially at Sony, who Marvelous depended on to succeed. Developers started self-censoring to meet these stricter content requirements, but that was never going to work for a series like Senran Kagura. Their next mainline game would have been Senran Kagura 7, Senran Kagura 7, Shoujo Tachi no Kofuku, which was originally announced by Marvelous and Honey Parade Games in August 2017. It was planned to be a PlayStation 4 exclusive, but unfortunately, it's since been effectively cancelled or stuck in indefinite development hell. The game never had a chance to materialize due to severe platform policy changes, aka Sony's bitch ass, as well as the departure of the franchise's creator. Sony, as they've been doing for the last decade or so, ruined another great franchise's potential. Besides being relegated to mobile gacha games, Senran Kagura may as well be completely dead. And that leaves us with the gold mine nobody is mining. Imagine what a modern Senran Kagura could be, built in Unreal Engine 5, with large interconnected environments, more dynamic combat, higher production values, and of course we'd bring back the god tier voice acting. And before you say that Unreal 5 is trash or a slop, just remember Stellar Blade and how amazing that game turned out. Excellent gameplay coupled with stellar performance, even on mid-PCs, all built in everyone's most hated game engine. All it takes is a developer who gives a shit and boom, good game accomplished. Honestly, I almost wish they'd just sell Senran Kagura to shift up at this point. Anyway, speaking of selling things, a lot of people have been talking about how Tencent has divested in several Japanese gaming companies, including Marvelous. Of course, opinions on whether or not that's a good thing are pretty divided, and I'm no corporate finance expert, so I'll leave that particular discussion to those more qualified. However, I do believe that we're currently in a golden age for games featuring stunning, gorgeous anime waifus with huge bohongala hoogs. Senran Kagura is already well stocked in that regard, and it's just begging for a developer to cash in. Instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, someone could simply double down on what everyone already loved. We've seen plenty of successful action games embrace super attractive character designs while also delivering excellent gameplay these days. It's a combination that works. It just works. Players are increasingly saying, if you want our money, just make a fun game, duh. That's exactly where Senran Kagura could shine, because that's all it is. It's not trying to chase trends, it's not apologizing for what it is or acting all bashful and shit. It's just an excellent anime action game that's totally cool and fun. It's quite literally what the market is asking for. That said, as a diehard fan of the series, here are 5 things I believe could make a modern Senran Kagura game amazing. First, Deeper combat with higher skill expression. I'm thinking about mastering combos by mixing light and heavy attacks or something along those lines. Second, larger environments that reward exploration during missions. Third, even stronger character stories and more heart-melting Yuri interactions. Fourth, even more character customization options, including changing your secret ninja arts. And finally, keep the series identity intact. Let Ryobi call people a bitch, let Riona beg to get smacked, and let Katsuragi sexually harass and grope her friends. Because in the end, it's just a video game. It's fictional, and everyone is just having fun. Senran Kagura doesn't need to become something else. It doesn't need to imitate other popular action RPGs or anything like that. All it needs is a strong, skilled development team willing to believe in it again. The foundation has always been there. Great combat, great characters, great music, and a recognizable identity. That's not a dead franchise. It's a sleeping gold mine. And I honestly think, if someone invested in it properly, I truly believe Senran Kagura could make a huge comeback. Maybe it's finally time to wake it up. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you, I greatly appreciate your time. Feel free to leave a comment letting me know what you think about Senran Kagura and its potential future. I'm curious to know if anyone else is as optimistic as I am, or maybe I'm just high on copium and wishful thinking. Either way, curious to know. Until next time, bye bye.